Hi everyone and welcome back to the Crafty Yellow Camper, and today I've got a card for you using the framed Florets stamp set. Sorry, my low battery light just came on then, so pardon me for 2 seconds. I'm just going to plug my phone in. Last thing I want is for it to die halfway through me doing the video. Okay. Right, apologies about that. And if I'm jiggling the phone, there we go. It should be charging now. Okay, right, sorry about that everyone, I should have checked that before I started recording. As I said, today we're going to use the framed Florets stamp set and the matching dies. Now this is a stamp set that was released as an early release from the spring and summer catalogue for this year. It was available towards the end of last year, and there was another set that went with it, but I didn't actually get that. This one I really loved because it has got some lovely sentiments and some lovely images, but equally I really love the dies, and I think they really make the set. There was some papers released with this, but they were limited edition papers, so I'm not sure if there's any of those left now. I'm going to use one of those, but you could use a different paper for this card. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my supplies. I've already done the stamping for this, so hopefully this will be quite a quick video, but I'll just run you through what I've got. So first of all, I have got a C6 card base, so that's half of a UK A4 piece of cardstock scored in half and folded, and we're going to use it in the portrait setting, and this is in Fresh Freesia. Okay. Then what I've done is I've gone ahead, and these were the papers. So these papers were released before Christmas in that they could be used for Christmas. So this one has got a mistletoe type berry on the back, but we're going to use this one here. I'm not going to show you the papers because, as I said, I'm not sure if they're still available. We'll have to have a quick look because they are really nice, but I know they were limited edition. So I've got a piece of that, and that's cut as a mat for my card front. So in the UK, the card front is 14.8 by 10.5, and this mat layer is cut at 14.3 by 10. Okay, then I've gone ahead and used the dies. Now I'm going to get these dies out so you can have a look. You get 2 pages of dies in these in this set. Sorry, I've got things falling on me all over the place. So you have got, mine have been well used. You have got different ovals. This is the one that we're actually going to use today, and that cuts out this frame here. So where you can see a cutting edge is where it actually cuts. So on some of our dies, if they don't actually have a cutting edge round the inside of this oval, then they just cut the outside shape and emboss this, but this does cut it all. So that's what you actually get from that. And then this is the middle of that die cut. So it cuts it into 2 sections. So you could save this for later, use it on something else. We are actually going to use it today as a matte layer. So that's how it would cut, and that's how we're going to use it today. Okay. You also get some dies that cut other ovals, as I said, and these nest one inside the other as well. This one, as I was just explaining, this doesn't have a cutting edge on it. So this just cuts out the hearts, and I've used that in another card, so you will see that in another video. This one does have a cutting edge on both edges, so that will cut out, it's like a line, that will cut out the oval for you, and the wastage from that is this piece. Now I've used that, if you have a look through my other videos, I've used this for a sentiment in a card using some other dies. So it is the detailed enchanting dies, I think it is. which doesn't have a stamp set to go with it. And I've used these that way with a greeting on for my card that I made. So never throw these bits and pieces away, because if you're not going to use them, they will always come in handy for something else. Okay, so that's the other dies. We're not using those ones. And then you get this die cuts out, there's a die that cuts out this flower section. We are using that today. There's one that cuts this little collection here. There's one that cuts these leaves, what else have we got? And these flowers. There are dies that cut both of these flowers. And then there are also some extras. So there are these leaves here, which there isn't a stamp to go with those, and they just die cut those. Okay, so I'm just going to move those dies. Oh, there's also this one here, which cuts a really nice frondy leaf section. You'll see that in another video. Okay, right, so I'm just going to move those to one side because I don't want to knock those on the floor and knock them in the bin. Okay, so the image that we're using today is this one here. So I've stamped that and I've coloured it with the blends. I've gone ahead and done that so you didn't have to watch me colouring. I've used our blends pens, as I say, for that. But I've stamped it in smoky slate, so you get an almost line-free colouring. You could use a darker grey, you could use basic grey, or you could do black. I'm just not a fan of black. Okay, so this is a really quick card to put together once we've got all our bits and pieces. So we're going to start with the card base, and I always say open up the card base when you're going to be putting a matte layer on it, and then that stops it bouncing around. So I'm just going to put some this is really lovely paper on the back. I'll be honest, I ordered it, and then because it was an early release from the seasonal, I was so busy with Christmas cards I didn't actually use it, and I totally forgot that some of the papers had Christmas images on them. Now I've cut this a little bit smaller because I wanted to be able to see a little bit more of the purple edge. So actually I've told you the wrong measurements for that, so let's just have a quick check of those. So it is 9.6 centimeters by 14. Okay, so I've just gone down a few more millimeters on the usual mat size. So my usual mat size would be 10 by 14.3. So this is 14 by 9.6. So we've just gone down a little bit more, just to give it a little bit more of that outline. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use this this lovely frame, and this is going to be mounted on top of our lovely papers, and then this is going to go in the middle like that, and we need to get that straight. Now I keep banging on about adhesive sheet, but it really is a saviour when you're cutting something like this, and I haven't used it, so I'm going to have to use glue. But if you stick your adhesive sheet, it's double-sided, peel off one side, stick it to the back of your cardstock, and then you can run it through the die cutting machine. May take one more pass because you're obviously cutting through two thicknesses, and then that would basically be a sticker. You can peel off the back of it and stick it down. Now I haven't done that, which was really foolish, so I'm going to have to use glue. So what we're going to do is we are going to put a little bit, and I mean a little bit, of Tombow, so multi-purpose liquid glue. And luckily for me, there are some edges. The trouble with me is I tend to plan before I actually try it out. So if I'd have thought about it a little bit more, I would have used the adhesive sheet. And one of these days I will show you. Okay, so we're just going to pop that on there. We want that central. Okay, so we've only got a tiny bit of glue on there to hold that down. That's that. And then what we want to do is we want this middle section, but what I actually want to do on this middle section is raise it up. So make sure you get the right side. It has got, I don't know if you can see on there, hopefully you can see that. It has got like a lined edge on it, and I'm just going to put some dimensionals behind that. So I've just got 4 on the back there. I'm not a fan of overloading with dimensionals because I like to be frugal, especially in the current climate. I like to use good quality items, which the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals are. And what I don't want to do is overload with those and then end up having to buy cheaper ones, which don't work as well. And then I'm just going to put 3 on the back of our coloured floral section. Okay, and then that is going to go... I knew I'd saved that white piece for a reason, because that white piece is going to go in the middle there, and then our flowers are going to go on, and I need to stamp a sentiment on that. Now, there are some really nice sentiments in this stamp set. So you've got Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday, which I've used in a different video. So lucky to call you friend. Thank you with all my heart. Just a little reminder you're loved. Celebrate. But the one I'm going to use today is for a special person on a special day. So that doesn't just have to be a birthday. It could be a congratulations card. It could be a just because card. It can be a birthday card, obviously. As I've said often enough before, I like to know that there are at least 5 ways I can use my my stamps. Now, that's not going to be big enough. So I'll bring this one in. So I'm going to stamp it in the pink, which is Blushing Bride. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to ink that up. It's a photopolymer stamp set, so I'm just going to slide this underneath my image just to give me a bit more cushion. And I want to stamp this to the right hand side of our oval, but not going over the edge, obviously. There we go, for a special person on a special day. So I'm just going to close that ink pad up. Now, because we've got dimensionals on this section, I'm not going to put dimensionals on here because we have also got dimensionals on our flowers. So I'm just going to use a little wiggle of Tombow on there. And that is going to be stuck on here. Again, make sure you get it in the middle. It's really difficult to tell when you're... And that your greeting is straight. It's better to have your greeting straight and be slightly off-centre on this than to have this perfectly aligned and your greeting on the wonk. Okay. If you can see that, it's a really pale colour for a special person on a special day. And then I've got our flowers, which we've put our dimensionals on, and those are just going to come in on one side of our oval there. And then we're just going to add a little bow. Just having a look to see what I've got that we can add a small bow with. Okay, should have got this out before. I've just got to unhook my ribbon storage, and it's always the one that you want that is at the other end of the ribbon storage, isn't it? So just bear with me a second just while I get this ribbon off. Yeah, and that was the ribbon hitting the floor and unrolling itself. Okay, so this is open weave ribbon. It doesn't actually tell me what colour it is. I think this might be Fresh Freesia, but it will, because it's a sort of a chiffony ribbon, I think we'll get away with it. Okay, so let's just wind that up like that. I do feel like we need some gems as well, so we'll get some gemmage in a moment. So we're just going to do a little bow. It's really pretty satin edged ribbon. Okay, so Always leave your ribbon on its reel until you've got your bow as you want it, because if you cut it off and you don't have enough ribbon to tie the bow you want, you've wasted a reasonable amount of ribbon. Okay, so I've still got mine attached. So I'm just going to bring in my ribbon scissors. I think these big ones were a little bit overkill, but anyway. And I just neaten those edges up. Always cut your edges on your ribbon at a diagonal. It looks nicer, but it also stops it from fraying. What we don't want is a really pretty card with a nasty frayed ribbon on it. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in a glue dot just to attach that ribbon. I'm not quite sure where I want to put it yet. Okay, what's going on with my glue dots? There we go. There's our first one. I know a lot of demonstrators have an elastic band around to keep it down, but okay, now do we want our ribbon there? No, I think we want our ribbon over here. So we're going to pop that there and there like that, and then let's find some gems. We could have those ones. I need to find a better way of storing my gems. Oh, we could be traditional and go, oh my goodness me, I've got rolls of ribbon falling down everywhere. That's what happens when you try and get something out quickly. So we could use the gold or silver. These were from the autumn winter catalogue. So we could use the gold and silver, or even the green actually. Or we could just stick to the traditional and go with some gems. So let me just find my take your pick tool. And I think what we'll do is go with some of these gems on our flowers. I have coloured the middle of these flowers yellow, and I'm now sticking gems over it, but okay, so we've just got some gems on the middles of those three flowers, and then I think what we'll do, we'll just bring it in. Oh, for goodness. My gems are not playing ball today. Okay, well, I've got one on my finger, so I think we will put that on there. Do you know what? I'm almost wondering whether we need to echo the... No, we're going to go... Oh, my word. We're going to go for one there, and we'll have a third one. Always put things in groups of odd numbers. Okay, I think we'll have... third one there, just follow that round, and there we go. There's our finished card. So another quite quick one. If you haven't already had a look at it, definitely have a look at that framed Florets stamp set and dies, because I think they're really good. And obviously I'll put a white middle in there. In fact, let's do that now because we can stamp on it. Again, I don't stamp a greeting inside my cards until I know who I'm going to be sending it to. But I do like to decorate the inside of my cards. So let's have this little corner flourish, I think. Let's take that off there. That's our sentiment. So we've got this little corner flourish. Okay, and we're going to stamp that. I think we'll go for the pink pirouette in that as well. Again, you could colour this inside. You could stamp it in the grey and colour it in. But I'm just going to go for it as the line drawn. Get it the right way up might help, mightn't it? The line drawn greeting. And obviously, yes, check you've got it the right way up. Okay, give that a minute to soak in, and there we go. Hopefully you can see that. Just Blush and Bride is quite pale, but okay. And then, as I said before on my videos, I'm not going to stick that in because when I decide who I'm going to send this card to, if I've already stuck that in and stamp a sentiment on there and then mess it up, then that's the whole card ruined. So I'm just going to leave that loose, and when I've stamped my sentiment or decided to write in it, who to write in it, I'll stick it in then. So thanks for watching. Hope you like the card, and I'll be back soon with some more for you. Happy stamping. Bye for now.